woman. Poor Yuki. Oh. Show and tell. Hi guys, I'm Judy, and today I'm going to be watching Fruits Basket Reboot Season 2, Episode 3. And in the last episode, it was such a fantastic episode. I enjoyed every second of it. We focused, I think we focused mostly on Kyou and Tooru. I mean, there were other things too, but that was the focus. Like, she went to visit his shisho with him and got to hear about him as a kid. And we also saw, Kazuma went to visit his dad, because his dad was freaking out about the possibility that he won't be jailed, put in a cage after he graduates. And Kazuma told him he's not really his father, so he doesn't know what it's like to love him, and he can go shit himself. Fine, he didn't say that, but you got the meaning. And then they were talking about the future and how afraid everyone is, kind of how uncertain it is, and even if you know what you want to do, it's not, there's still a lot of fear involved in that. And especially if you don't know if you can even do it, because you might get locked up in a cage. And it was just lovely. Kyou and Tooru just they're my babies. Anyway, let's get into this episode. I really don't, moving forward, I really don't know what they're going to cover in each episode at all. I mean, I didn't know a lot, I didn't remember a lot of it in the first season too, but here it's I'm going fully blind. Let's explore some brotherly bonds. Check out my Patreon to get ahead on Fruits Basket reactions. I posted episode 7 of season 2, and you can check it out if you want. Most importantly, though, I hope you enjoyed this reaction. If you do, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to let me know, to let others know. Also, make sure to support the original content, and let's get into it. Let's get into it. Oh, focusing on Yuki. That's his mom. So what if you're a tool? Well, woman, your sympathy definitely isn't a thing.
Good morning, my sweet brother.
Poor Yuki. The thing is that he's super in his own world, and Yuki. Oh. Oh, he's the one mending it. All right, he works in that, obviously. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. He just stopped. What the fuck? Oh, we never went to visit his... Right, I forgot about that. Oh, are we going to visit his shop? I totally forgot about that episode. Tearfully? Okay, wow. We're exaggerating here. It's so sweet that he's so excited though, as stupid as he is, as annoying as he is. Oh. It's so funny that they put it after the episode, the last episode though. Because, I don't know, there was so much focus on there with Tooru and Akito together. But not what kind. Poor Yuki. Anyway, I wonder what they're gonna do with this episode. like what more they're gonna add to it from what the episode I know from the original. Maybe it's just me being wishful, but I just felt like the last episode was so Kyou focused, and now we have like, I guess, a Yuki Toru focus to counter that. But okay, fine. I guess I was just seeing more than there was last episode, maybe. It's just starting. I mean, I think you exactly. This. Yeah. But it's funny that there's like no windows to the shop. Like you can see inside. You can see what they have on offer. Did they order them for themselves though? Like, what I'm wondering is if he caters mostly to men. I mean, yes, but for men to wear his clothes, these clothes, or for men to, I don't know, order them for I don't even know who. Yeah. But I mean, Ayame didn't seem too surprised by it, so I don't think all of it was fake. It's to be ignored. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely scary. It's pretty much what he did to him. He just ignored him when he was a kid. I mean, they could definitely work on that, but yeah, that's true. Yeah, not all of it was fake. Just so casually talking about how he doesn't like your parents, how they didn't do any right by him. Jesus, yeah. Would you prefer that? Okay, he's actually listening to him this time. He ran after him. It's so sad. It's so sad for both of them, but exactly, we're indifferent. Yeah, for they can try to control you. That was an honest conversation. What are you doing now? He's right about that. Noble refinement. Oh wait. And he doesn't raise his voice, he's talking at a normal tone. Then you know that he's serious about what he's saying. You can actually be honest. Gardening. Yuki gets that. Good for you, Ayame. So he's saying he'll be there for him? That was beautiful, Ayame. Good for you. But okay. You persevered. Oh my god. Not all the time though. I mean, you did get a little what he was saying. He's deflecting though. It gets too personal for him and then he becomes all flamboyant again. For you. What the fuck? They're funny together. You're just asking it right out with him. There. He's saying it right there. Maybe they're not hearing each other. I don't know. Yeah, there's a bud. What are you doing? Yeah, he did say that. That was important. Even though it was too late. I think it still mattered. The fuck? Oh my god, this episode. I think maybe because I love, Kyou and Tori so much, I was just like, oh, okay. And, last episode, I was just like, okay, we're on this bandwagon, let's go. But I guess it's not that clear. Like, which of them is more for her or whatever. And it was cute. Like, definitely Yuki has a special, relationship with her, and she means a lot to him. And it was sweet to see it here. I just feel it's a little, but maybe in the manga it was also like this. you know? I don't remember, honestly, how things were, like, where things were placed in the manga exactly. Yeah, for some reason it was jarring to me to see this episode here, but maybe just because I, you know, in the original anime it was a lot earlier, and I totally forgot about it. Anyway, though, but it really, you know, just the whole intricate relationship between Ayame and Yuki, and the fact that, you know, Ayame can now recognize how awful what he did to Yuki was, that it was even more awful than hating him or you know, arguing with him or fighting with him. The fact that he just ignored him completely, it's so devastating. Like in that scene when you see Yuki, you know, reaching out, it was just so sad to think about Yuki, you know, what he feels in that moment. And then I was also sad for Ayame in the future, thinking back to that moment, being like, what did I do, you know? How horrible I was, and how, like, he thinks he deserved it in some way, that Yuki would do the same to him. And that's why he's so afraid of it, like, because he finally understands what it means, and he finally understands, like, how dismissive it is, how he just, like, it's nothing, you know, it leaves nothing for you. Like, you can't even, like, when someone fights you or hates you, you can fight back, you can, you know, there's something going on between you, even if it's not the most pleasant thing, and, you know, some people might see it as very terrible, but there's something going on. And when, I mean, there's no one, you know, looking back, you know, you reach out and there's no one there, like, no one there to look at you or you know, help you or anything, or acknowledge you in any way, then there's nothing you can do about it, or it's very hard to do anything about it. And it just breaks you, especially in a situation where Yuki was, where he just felt used by everyone, felt, you know, he was abused, he was scared, and no one cared about it. Like, his parents just told him, okay, so you're a tool, good for you, so what? Like, yeah, the parents here are just, like, you know, catastrophic on a different level, honestly. So far, the parents we've seen, you know, we have, like, Toru's mom, who, like, kind of stays, like, she's, like, against all, like, she's the beacon of hope, like, the parent that is the best of all parents ever. But we also had, you know, Kisa's mother, who cares about her, and I mean, Ritsu's mother, like, his parents are, they gave him some emotional scars for sure, but overall they do care about him. Like, they're kind of ashamed of everything, I guess. So that in a way they're ashamed of him. They're not perfect in any way, but I don't feel that they're intentionally malicious, you know? It comes from, you know, just struggling, I guess, to just, you know, but they do feel like they're overprotective. Like, they do tend to fall, I think, on the overprotective side, or at least the mother definitely does. I mean, I don't think we ever even really get to know the dad. Maybe I'm wrong, but for now, anyway. So, like, they do care about their child. It just also scar him in the process. But I guess that could be said about a lot of parents who, you know, think they're doing their best, and I mean, maybe do their best, and it's just kind of too, like, tilting toward one side of, you know, kind of an extreme side of how to deal with things, and then it's just like, yeah, and then you, like, kind of want to go the other way or something, you know, in response. And then we have Momiji, who has, like, his dad, at least. But on the other hand, his mom just totally rejected him completely, which is so sad. And the parents, like, Kyo's parents, Jesus, and Yuki's parents, who are just, like, I mean, Kyo's parents we kind of get to know personally in some way. Like, we see the way that they reacted to him differently. Like, the mother tried forcing herself to love him, even though, I mean, I think in some part of her she did love him. It was just not just, she it wasn't enough, and she couldn't convey it at all in a good way. And the dad is like, you know, we want to, like, I mean, there are no words to, you know, to verbalize that kind of relationship. Like, it's not a parent in any way that matters. I mean, we do have Kazuma, who's, like, a good parent, but I'm talking about the biological parents, I guess. Because I've heard that there's, like, a criticism of this work is the fact that most parents are terrible parents. And I mean, I do think there's some truth to that. Like, a lot of trauma comes from the parents. That comes from, I mean, it's like this whole situation. It's compounded by this whole situation. But the parents are definitely not, you know, they're not doing a good job. We have Saki's parents who are good. So that's good. And we have Ua's dad. Her mom left. So that's already on the bad side. Her dad was not doing a great job, but I guess they're getting better. At least, I don't know. I mean, at least, yeah, they're getting better, and I don't know. Although I'm not sure how much of a parent-daughter relationship it is. Like, it seems mostly like she's looking out for him more than he's looking out for her. But maybe I'm wrong. Like, we just saw like a situation, and I mean, like a one-time kind of family dinner for them, I guess. Although we hear like it's obviously a thing that she has to make sure he doesn't drink and take care of him. But I mean that happens a lot in a parent-child relationship, like that the children at some point have to take care of their parents. But I mean the question is what came before that. You can't say he's a good dad. He's not the most awful, I guess, but it's not like up to him. The thing is that the relationship changed. What do you mean it's not up to? I just mean that, the relationship changed because it would change because of Kyoko's and Toru's like effect on her life. And not because her dad was trying too hard, to do anything. I guess he's trying in his own way now. Or something. A little, it seems. Hopefully. I don't know. And then I don't think we saw any more parents, have we? Or heard about them at least. So I didn't really count. But it definitely seems like there are like way too many bad parents, just as a whole. And like not just bad, awful parents. Okay, Kyo's and Yuki's parents are just awful. Anyway, I was trying to say that Kyo's parents we know individually, and Yuki right now at least, and I think it's for the rest of the show as well, it's like they're like this one unit. They're just like working together, like, we don't know them as people, at least so far, but they're just like, or at least we saw the mom. We didn't really see the dad too much. But we just gotta get, like, the way that Yuki talks about them, it just feels like they're together in this, and the dad is, like, pretty much anything the mom says, the dad is right behind her, like, probably agreeing with her. Who knows? Maybe just not doing enough to disagree with her anyway, if he actually does. It doesn't seem like it. And it's just, like, so casual, the way that Ayame was just like, oh, yeah, but you hate our parents, don't you? Like, oh, yeah, oh, you have a conference, but you hate the parents, so maybe I will go. Like, just like a fact, just a fact. Just like, oh, of course, like, I know you hate our parents, like, and I mean, it's like, I don't blame you. I totally get why you would hate them, but it's like, I don't know, it's just crazy. It's just like, oh yeah, of course you hate them. That's just how it is. Anyway, but Ayame was really sweet when he said the words, when he said, you're not a tool, you're not alone anymore. It definitely felt like it meant a lot to Yuki, even though he wouldn't acknowledge it. And it was kind of, there was all the other stuff that Ayame would have like a moment where he would kind of settle down, actually talk about what he felt or what Yuki felt or what he, the important things. It would actually come across as like really caring and insightful and just and kind and then he would immediately be like, okay, but now you admire my charisma or whatever. Just like, you can look at me and admire me or whatever, or something like that. Like, it's definitely his defensive mechanism or something. Defense mechanism where he's just like, he can't stay on that same level for long because he's so afraid to be hurt. It seems like he's so guilty. He feels so guilty. He's just so afraid that Yuki would reject him completely. So he like lets in, like he manages to get through a little bit, let kind of Yuki into his life, into the real him to some degree, and then he's like immediately, oh yeah, but and it's definitely exhausting from Yuki's point of view to just be like up and down like that. And it's easy to see how Yuki would be like, oh my god, he's a force on nature, I can't do anything about him, like, because it's definitely exhausting. You don't know how to, like, you don't have time to react to the real stuff because there's so much in between, but you just kind of have to take it as it is, I guess. This is who Ayame is. Like, the fact that he tries so hard to connect, and then immediately it goes back and and starts being all big and crazy and stuff. I mean, there's something endearing about it, especially when you know how much he's, how afraid he is. Like, the thing is that Yuki doesn't know all these behind the scenes that we see with Mina, for instance, when she asked him, he was afraid. We don't know how much, like, all those conversations that he had with Hatori and Shigure and Tooru, just like talking about how much this means to him. He's able to talk about this to a lot of other people, but to Yuki, it's very scary for him, and you can understand that because this is the person that he needs, to make the best impression on, and immediately, like, it immediately becomes too real for him to be able to just kind of settle down and let it kind of, you know, happen. But his flamboyant personality is what I'm trying to say is there's also something about that you know, that you just, I mean, I guess as a viewer, as a third party, kind of, you just look at it and you're like, oh, he's so funny. So, like, there's something about him that is endearing. The way he kind of covers up with that. And it's just like, it's not only a defense mechanism. It's not only that he acts this way when he's trying to evade, you know, or kind of trying to protect himself. Obviously, he's doing that a lot because that's who he is too. He kind of deals with the world this way. I mean, I'm trying to imagine what it would feel like to have a person like that in your life. It would be exhausting as fuck. Like, I think it's fun to look at it from a good distance. You have to have, like, a lot of patience, I guess, for something like that. And I think Mina, for instance, or something, like, just kind of accept it as what it is and just be like, and know that a lot of it is bravado. Some of it isn't, but a lot of it is kind of. And there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. I do like Mina. She comes across as very, you know, like, very caring. Like, she kind of came out of nowhere, you know. It's like, oh, Ayame has this person, and then he says she's, you know, a person who's always there for me. Like she's the Tooru to his Yuki, kind of. Tooru to everyone else. And then you're like, oh, okay. Like, he had this person, he never mentioned her before. I think pretty much, I don't think he really mentioned her. I mean, we might have seen her, I think, enough when we were talking about the shop, and then we just, like, saw an image of the shop or something. Maybe I'm making this up, I'm not sure. So, but it's an interesting relationship, and she definitely seems, I mean, she has also her own craziness, I guess, when she, like, super loves to dress up people. But beyond that, she seems pretty down to earth. But she also, like, on the other, like, really likes the shop, really likes dressing up as a maid. It's cool, I guess. I'm still not sure if I think the shop is just, like, catering to both women and men who are into this, I guess. Or, like, I guess girls who want to maybe impress or something. Play into the fantasy of their partner or something. Like, here, there was definitely a focus on men. This is men's fantasy, men, you know. But I'm sure there are girls who also, you know, are into this. I don't know. But in any case, yeah, it definitely seems like men is the focus. Also, like, these dresses for men. Like, them dressing up as that. And I'm not sure how that... I mean, okay. Fair enough, you know what? It's interesting. Yeah. Ayame is definitely an interesting character. This episode really made me feel for him. Like, the fact that he fully acknowledges, at least for himself, and, like, not for Yuki, but not in so many words, but fully acknowledges it. He deserves this. Like, he understands why Yuki doesn't want anything to do with him. And he's so desperately afraid of just being completely, like, you know, just swept aside. And so he, in a way, he's purposefully annoying just so that Yuki would have to, you know, have to answer, have to be ticked off, have to, like, show that he acknowledges that he's there, you know? Their sibling relationship is very, like, I like it. It's very interesting. Like, it's intricate. It's not straightforward. But it has its shtick, kind of. It has, like, this, okay, Ayame is going to go crazy again, and Yuki's going to go crazy because of it. Like, you know, this thing. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this reaction, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Special thanks to my top patrons: Betty Tier, Andy Plays All Night, Stone Tree, Tyrannor, Michael Gabriel, and Hyakugan. And to the rest of my amazing patrons, without whose support, I would never be able to do any of this. Thank you so much.